Guys, you know I love football, but Justin, you found something this week that not only has put my love of football into question, but my faith in God as well. I feel like you might want to explain that to the audience.
So, I mean, I'm always bombarded with weird stuff. And scrolling through the interwebs the other day, I found an image of Nicolas Cage done up as Madden, of all people. Like, yeah, I think in the particular picture it was Nicolas Cage, Raiders era Madden, with Christian Bale as Al Davis standing next to him. And I had to do searching because I thought I was just in this era, some weird AI nonsense.
Yeah,
it's real, folks.
Yeah.
It's real. I have found more photos.
Pedro, you had the opposite reaction of May. Instead of losing your faith, it reaffirmed your faith.
So I'll say this. When this was presented to me, I very much so was of the mindset that Nicolas Cage is obviously a hero of mine. I might put him up into, deity-like territory, and I think that that's very fair. Oh, my phone is going off.
Oh, is it Nick Cage?
How embarrassing. It's probably Nicolas Cage. I did put it on a low volume because I thought that no one would call me. But obviously, Nick Cage has got me. I'm a bit of a hotline for him. So he probably, I was burning in his ears.
Got a good deal on a dinosaur or something, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that Tyrannosaurus skull is rotting away somewhere in this building right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that is.
Let's edit that out.
Don't tell Mongolia.
Yeah. Christian Bale being in that, I kind of glossed over that element.
I think that's kind of the thing because, take Nicolas Cage out of it, and that'd be kind of a weird thing because he looks insane.
Yeah.
It still looks like him, though.
He's in, they did a great, the fat suit is one thing.
Is it a fat suit?
Well, of course it's
He's a method actor.
We're still talking about Nick Cage.
Yes.
Okay.
We will put the image up.
Yeah. It should be there by now, but we're still in the introductory phase of the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So to wrap up what I was saying, I love that Nick Cage is doing this. I know that he's like a mediocre actor in terms of the roles that he takes, the characters that he plays. Niggas got to eat. And I get it.
That might be something I have to edit out the first couple minutes.
Edit out what you need to get. But I'm just saying, that is what it is. But at the same time, I do respect that, that he does put forth the effort. He is capable of acting. He needs money.
He's done it once.
Yeah, he's acted before. But Christian Bale, who fancies himself a proper, legitimate method actor and has done very legitimate roles, that to me is very shocking.
Like Thor: Love and Thunder.
Don't denigrate what I am saying, sir.
No, Christian Bale was great in that.
You really think so, Moses?
I know. That was a waste of character, waste of film, or whatever. Waste of digitization, because I don't think they actually use film anymore. It was terrible.
A lot of billable hours.
Yeah.
Too many man hours.
Yeah.
And women hours. They just get paid less.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of man hours, did you know that most of the people that watch our show on YouTube are not subscribed? About 95%.
What an asshole.
So if you're out there and you're watching that, and you're watching this episode of Loud and Drunk Podcast, it's been a week, guys.
Yeah.
Make sure that you subscribe and you can leave us a like and a comment because we're about to go to town on this potential John Madden movie because, oh, God, guys, John Madden, the absolute face of football. I know I'm not old enough to have seen him coach the Raiders, but, every Sunday, John Madden with either Pat Summerall and then towards the end of his career with Al Michaels doing the Sunday night game and even the Monday night game. He was the absolute. He's what made the NFL fun to actually listen to and watch. I know it's goofy at this point.
Certainly not that anymore.
But it's yeah, well, it's not fun. Listen to, watch anything. But him going boom.
Yeah.
This is where he's about to get hit right there.
The boom part is great. I absolutely adore that.
And now, we are left with this movie, apparently.
Yeah.
That
It's a
has
film, then? It's a film, not a
that has Nick Cage playing John Madden. And I want to start us off with, I don't think we could have found an actor that had less of John Madden's personality than Nick Cage.
It's funny. It's like Nick Cage is an eccentric in his own right. He has his own flair that he throws at everything, and kind of Madden's kind of like this. He's kind of like a goober.
Yeah.
He's a little goofy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how everybody knows. He's been lambasted in every piece of media for his way of. My brain stopped working, but like calling the games.
Yeah, calling the games. The turducken thing.
Yes,
I think it was a Mad TV bit where it's just like him like slowly roasting a turducken while he's calling the game. Oh, you see that you couldn't make that tackle because hold on, basting. It was one of the things that he was known for, but
Is that an option
it
for
was
this?
making the broadcast fun.
I want to chime in on that note, though, because, and I've not been the fan of football that you have been, Dan. But I just want to put it out there that I could imagine Nick Cage absolutely talking to me about something that he very much so cares about, method acting, this or that, whatever. And he's also roasting a turkey over here and needs to pause me from listening so that he can then like baste it properly over to the side. I think he's the perfect guy to play the role.
I'm so this is a biopic of John Madden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he do it? Like, did he steal a Declaration of Independence or some kind of sports car or escape from a prison? Like, why is there
To be determined.
a biopic? Like, was there
We're
something
going to find out.
extra remarkable about his life that we may not know, or did he just like call football games and cook turduckens?
He called football games. He coached the football. He
coached
coached
as
the
well.
Super Bowl winning team for the Raiders. I think they were the LA Raiders at the time.
They were.
And then went on to be like the guy who's synonymous with football, with calling the games. And then we were in that generation where the video games just absolutely when they skyrocketed.
But it sounds like we just watched the movie now. Like,
Yeah,
what else?
yeah.
Like, what else is there like interesting about him? Where we need not just Nick Cage, but also Christian Bale. Like, why? What are we doing? What's going on here?
Go ahead, Pedro.
Sorry, give me a minute.
Take it.
I'm excited to see the two of them, on stage together. Because Christian Bale takes himself too seriously. And Nicolas Cage, as much of a joke as he is, he doesn't take himself seriously enough.
Yeah.
He just kind of dives into whatever and he revels in being a joke. He loves to just be a fool and people talk about him. And I can only imagine that when the two of them at some point during the filming of this, or maybe it happens when we watch it.
What is that interaction like?
Yeah, they make physical contact and our reality begins to unfold upon itself.
This is what Doc Brown was warning us about.
Exactly.
Now I'm just picturing Christian Bale when he was in Terminator Salvation or Batman.
I was going to bring it up, but you got it.
And Nick Cage just being in what was it, Face Off? Mm-hmm. And so it's just who sent you? Like that stupid gravelly voice. It's like, you're playing Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders.
Yeah. They're both I guess if I want to repeat exactly what I just said, but be honest about it, they're both douchebags in totally different ways, and I just don't know how they interact together.
But now that
it's catastrophic.
Now that I'm looking at it through your eyes, where it's like Shakespeare in the Park, I'm kind of on board since they're going to be sharing the stage together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I also have to admit to the audience what I said on the podcast thread, Shane, when we were talking. At first, I thought that was David Lee Roth.
Yes.
I did not think that was Christian Bale. He looks like David Lee Roth.
Exactly.
Maybe they're filming two things at once.
David Lee
Can it be
Roth.
both?
Yeah. At least that I'm more interested in.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, and Christian Bale's a person that has done extreme things for roles, but he looks very strange as his version of Al Davis. And yes, I didn't see it immediately, but as soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, definitely.
And it's the funny thing about it too is that's what struck me, and I'm like, and now I'm looking at him right now as we're shooting the podcast, and I'm just like, does that look like Al Davis? I don't think that looks like Al Davis. I know, that
Doesn't look like Al Davis. I vaguely remember from old media.
I have no idea. I heard the name once or twice. The Pat Summerall I do recall.
Don't get me wrong. Al Davis isn't a particularly distinct-looking person, but he has that look. Always like kind of like the hair was slicked back, and it was just generic slicked back white guy. But like, there is something to this portrayal of Al Davis that is just David Lee Roth.
Yeah. Now, I just punched up a couple images of Al Davis. He doesn't look anything like him.
No, it's very strange.
Christian Bale is an actor. He's going to create vision.
Now, I will say, too, that there are plenty of movies based on sports teams and sporting events where the guy, I'll use, for example, one of my favorite sports movies, Miracle. Kurt Russell.
I wish we could get through one episode with it.
Right? Like everything's
I mean,
a
we're
miracle.
we're on the topic of sports movies and all that stuff. He
Like
doesn't
a
look
fucking Catholic. Everything's a miracle. Oh my God, it's John Madden.
Go on, Dan. I'm just
In the
busting
water
your
stain.
You're all talking at the same time.
I got more, but you go ahead.
He doesn't really look like Herb Brooks. But what ended up happening was he was just so great at the role. He was just like, all right, I don't really see it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But I don't have that level of faith in Nick Cage to pull that off, to be like, boom, tough acting, acting.
And see, that's your mistake, Dan, because you don't have that level of faith in Nicolas Cage. But let me tell you, he has always persevered for all of us in all of the films that he's ever done.
That's the hill you're dying on.
You've seen The Rock.
I've also seen Snake Eyes.
Yes, you have. You
Why?
have. And that's why we don't talk about it. And it's very rude of you to bring that up while I am trying to make a point that defeats your point.
What I will say, so in recent years, Nicolas Cage has been doing a lot.
Yes.
And he's been doing more with a lot of prosthetic work.
Gross.
It's, you know what, honestly, Moses is right in that one word response.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But like, so last year, the year before, Long Legs, a lot of prosthetic work in that movie. And this one, like, so this is Raiders era Madden. He's a big, thick boy wearing like the satin pants with the pullover crotch thing and like the mutton chops. And it's very clearly Nick Cage with like a fat suit.
Yeah. He's very distinct looking. It's weird how he can that he can put on all of those prosthetics that would otherwise conceal even a Danny DeVito, or do you believe that he is a penguin? And yet you can't do that with Nicolas Cage, playing basically just a fatter version of himself. He's just always Nicolas Cage.
It's like a fat person with like Nicolas Cage's face pushing.
Yeah.
It's just Face Off too.
I want to take his face off.
I hate it. And I hate that we know that scene so well.
And that's when the whistle happens too, and they kick off.
So yeah, this movie's going to be interesting. It's like an Amazon movie or something.
Yeah, Amazon MGM. So I'm not even sure if it's going to be a full theatrical release. The only thing that really happened was that they just released these like photos or one photo or whatever. Yeah. So it's just like there's no. I tried to look it up. Is there a trailer? Like
no.
And there was
It's probably not done filming yet.
Dan, I have a serious question for you. Because you know the most about football, of the people in play, so on and so forth, of everybody here. How do you think that Madden would feel about being played by Nicolas Cage if he could see the way that he was being played?
That's an interesting question because I don't know enough about the man himself.
Yeah.
Hasn't seen the movie.
Nick Cage does, though. Let me tell you that. This is always a trick question. Goodness.
Yeah, you're busy tonight.
I'm a popular person. It's the glasses mostly.
We get it. You got business after the
I
podcast.
gotta move those keys.
But
Thanks for mate.
for the most part, from what I have learned about John Madden, I don't think he would be against it because he was actually pretty on board with doing the video game way back when in like '84. He signed on. The one thing that he had as a stipulation for lending his name to the video game is it's got to be 11 on 11. It's got to be like a realistic football simulation, which cost the team 4 years because the modern hardware for computers and video games could not handle that much going on. Yeah. So it took them 4 fucking years to make the original John Madden football for the computer, and then it eventually went on to.
So funny. 1984.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, first of all, that's before I was born.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was a twinkle in my father's eye.
I was turning 30 at the time.
That tracks.
And you know, it was a good time to be alive. The cocaine was flowing. It was good for you with that.
Now you just chase the empire off of Tatooine, or what are you doing?
No,
It's a
there
sand
wasn't.
people joke.
Oh,
That's our word.
filthy creatures.
But yeah, I always like when I first saw this image and all that stuff. After I was just like the ugh kind of thing. It did take me back to that time frame when we were kids, and you had Madden calling the games and all that stuff, and the excitement because when Madden and Pat Summerall were calling the game, it was the best game that week, arguably. It was either on. I think it was either NBC, and then he jumped over to Fox when NBC.
It was
I
NBC.
believe so,
They
yeah,
started on NBC.
Yes.
Because Fox wasn't even a thing at that point.
And then he was such a big name just from that alone. That's why like EA Sports, Electronic Arts at the time, there was no sports division of it.
Right.
Sought him out just to do that. And that was actually a popular marketing strategy at the time for those early video games because with the market crash in the early 80s, maybe late 70s, I can't remember the exact year, they needed to have some credibility to the product. So like, I know Sega, when they were launching the not the Master System, the Mega Drive, Genesis, as we know it.
Yeah, it was after Master System. Yeah.
They were like getting the pretty much the endorsement, the likeness, image, name recognition of like Joe Montana, of Pat Riley, Tommy Lasorda, and Arnold Palmer, just even for golf,
Yeah.
for all these games.
Yeah.
And this was
I love
out
his
of
tea.
and out of all of those, this was the thing because when John Madden Football came out for the Genesis, it ended up making that the absolute it turned everything around for Sega. It made it one of the highest. It was like the highest selling game I think they had, and then like it was the highest selling franchise they had up until like 1996.
So yeah,
that makes
it was that until Mortal Kombat kind of took over because that was the only port for Mortal Kombat, which because Nintendo didn't want to touch it at the time.
But it was such a tremendously popular franchise that even now, like after it went through the PlayStation and all those iterations and all that stuff, and it got like a little monopoly on the NFL because they got exclusivity rights to the team names. So like fuck everyone else.
That's right, like because Bo Jackson football didn't have it. It was just Bo Jackson, and then no names and not. Like just, I forget what the names of the teams were, but they were not NFL.
Well, for the most part, too, all of those games, a good chunk of those games did have the license. I remember the first one I ever came across was Tecmo Super Bowl that had the names.
Oh,
and
yeah,
also
yeah,
only
yeah,
a few
yeah.
players weren't on that. But the point that I was going to make is that that game was so impactful to video games, but also to football culture that now NFL owners and players and coaches actively bitch about the ratings that the individual players get in those video games.
Oh, it's no joke. It's stupid. I've never played any of these games.
Yeah.
It is such like a marker now. Like it used to be a marker to like get on the cover or whatever the case may be. Now it's like they're obsessed with how like
it kind of
portrayal.
makes sense within the framework of, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but video games are now they cost more. Well, in some cases cost more to make than movies, but make more money than movies.
Yeah. It's a bigger business now. But my whole point of that too is Madden, even without the Super Bowl win, even without the broadcasting, although you can argue without the broadcasting, the video game itself is probably one of the biggest purveyors, one of the biggest pushers of football becoming the most dominant sport in our culture, just because everyone loved the game and it was actually like there were real plays in it. It probably produced a number of fucking coaches just because of how in depth and how realistic it was.
I know a good chunk of people that do still play video games, but play only sports games exclusively.
It's so interesting. That would be boring for me.
I think they like because it's crunchy.
Yeah, it's just grindy, and you just kind of
You grind. It's statistical.
I'll say this because I was going to kind of rebut a little bit against what you just said, and obviously I don't know, so anybody can correct me here if I'm wrong. But kind of imply that like this was that video games, and the way in which like the Madden games were impactful towards football becoming, more meaningful, I guess, in like the American culture and what have you.
I wouldn't say meaningful, but more popular.
More popular, right?
Yeah.
So I was going to butt back against that, but then I thought about baseball and how much I hate it. And that I've never heard anybody really talk to me about how much they enjoyed a baseball video game. And maybe that's what it took. It took this new medium for people to realize that baseball is a super boring sport. And just nothing happens.
No, because people will talk about golf, also a fucking boring sport.
Yeah.
But
fun
it has,
video game.
I'd rather play a golf game than.
Fun. I haven't played a video game in a long time. I'm damn near 40 years old. I ain't played that in a hot minute, but I'll tell you that video game golf is fun as shit.
Sure as fuck can't say you're out of line, but you're definitely right.
I'll take it. That's the best kind of right.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
But yeah, that's apparently the movie will cover essentially all of that. Like it'll cover his time as a coach. I don't know how much of it, but it'll cover his time as a coach, cover his time as a broadcaster, obviously a very impactful part of his career, and it'll even include the video game, which is actually interesting. I didn't know this until I did a little research this afternoon. Apparently, when he signed on to give his likeness away to the to EA, he could have bought unlimited stock in the company.
Ooh.
And he didn't because he just, for whatever reason, he didn't do it. And the quote that was associated with that paragraph is, that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. And I don't even think that guy was ever wanting for money, but he was just maybe it could have just stopped him from having to call a few extra seasons of Sunday Night Football.
I think it probably just hurts for somebody to get one over on you. It's not about the money. It's just I just got fucked.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they didn't offer him the fucking money. Like they were. I think they were even paying him the contract while they were working for 4 years on the original game. To the point where they were all just like, yeah, this game's never fucking coming out. We're never getting that money back. We're fucked.
I mean, that is fair. I mean, think of that mid 80s environment. Video games, as we knew them as home entertainment, were that was a far off thing. They were there. You could get it, but they were out of reach for most people.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in that realm of having 11 players, 11 sprites on, or 22 actually, because you have both teams. Yeah. So that's 22 sprites on a screen that has 8-bit at best.
That was because I think the Genesis came out in 89
around,
and that was I think 16-bit.
Yeah, so 16-bit would have been, but that's actually how they were able to do it for the Genesis and all that stuff, because that came out in 1990. So I mean, and that was impactful too for that system because. Back when we were kids, you were either a Super Nintendo kid or a freaking Genesis kid. And one of the big reasons why anybody wanted a Genesis was because of the sports games.
That was kind of the only thing because Nintendo didn't really do that at the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had it.
They had some, but it wasn't in the same way that, because I don't even think they had, NBA Live 95, those live games, or NHL Live.
They had those games, but they were generally considered to be... not as good as the ones on
and Genesis only had Sonic. They didn't have as many their own games like Link or Zelda and
they had a few, but they
Mario,
just weren't as popular.
No.
They had
Sonic was the only one that really kind of took off.
I was one of the few people that had a Sega Master System. So that came out the same time as the NES, roughly.
Yeah,
that generation, if you will. So you had Mario for Nintendo. You had Wonder Boy for Sega, which is essentially the same game.
Yeah, except one is good.
Yeah, exactly.
There can only be one Earthworm gem.
Right.
I will die on that hill.
Sega went way too ambitious. That the Sega Master System took a cartridge, which was a proxy to the Nintendo cartridge, but it also took a card type game.
Oh, yeah.
The Neo Geo cards?
It was the size of a credit card.
I don't remember that, huh?
Yeah. You can put the cartridge in the top, or the credit card game slid into the front.
In the future, we will have video games that are only the size of a credit card.
Huh.
You just insert them right into the top.
Well,
It's a little bit bigger than that.
Oh, actually,
I'm talking about a 1970s credit card, so it's bigger than your cell phone.
Yeah, well, the Switch has tiny ones like that. I know I've bought one, but I don't know where it went because they're so fucking tiny.
This was a mid-'80s game console, so It was whatever. But like there was weird licensing. So like Rambo went to Sega Master System. Alien went to Sega Master System. And the rest of them were all just weird knockoffs of Nintendo games, to be completely honest.
Yeah, they had a few like 8-bit versions of the Sonic games too, like some of the first parties.
Yeah. They were kind of like progenitor versions.
Yeah,
but there was a Transformer knockoff game. It wasn't Transformers.
GoBots.
It's GoBots. But then but there was. I distinctly remember. I don't distinctly remember the name, but there was a hockey game on there. I remember playing heavily. Yeah, heavily.
Yeah, they had a few. I think they had a few sports games. Now, I would know more about like the 8-bit sports games on like the Nintendo because to predate all the name, image, likeness games that happened on the Genesis, there was one that preceded all that, and it was John Elway's Football. And I remember my brother playing the shit out of that game. And if you played it now, you'd be like, wow.
Yeah.
My eyes are bleeding, and I'm disappointed in myself.
Yes, exactly. And like, there are some games like the aforementioned Tecmo Super Bowl and the one that came before it, Tecmo Bowl, that had music and it was kind of arcadey and super fun and all that stuff. There was no music to John Elway's Football, and it was and
wow.
You don't need the music when the game is
not when you have a cassette of Striper and you could just play all day.
Wow. Somebody here is the oldest.
It's me, isn't it?
It was always you.
Oh,
I remember working on the Atari when that was coming out.
Get your Commodore out. We'll talk.
Zeros and ones for days.
Anyway, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, all right, we'll circle back to the actual movie itself, though. Obviously, no trailer, this, that, and the other thing.
Very early.
I would assume, though, our expectations are low, perhaps so low that no one will care if they're exceeded. Is that fair to say?
Obviously, you guys all speak for yourself. I made clear how I feel about Nick Cage.
It doesn't even sound like it's a movie. It sounds more of a documentary because, like, does it end with his death?
Nicolas Cage only does.
Do we just do one season of the Raiders winning the Super Bowl, and that was just so hard, where it's like a major league kind of thing, or the miracle?
Hey, real talk. I saw a picture and I sent it to you guys. That's what happened. I don't know anything.
I'm drinking from 2 cups.
Well, you got the picture from somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had to do diligence to make sure it wasn't fake.
Oh, I thought maybe there'd be something in there about that.
And the due diligence that I did later was I found the tweet or whatever post on X where they threw this up on. This was, I will use the word throw up, accurately. Yeah. This is from Amazon MGM Studios. This is where I'm going to throw this up on the actual video feed. Yeah. But I figure it might be fun if we go through some of these comments because this time they're not aimed at us.
Huh.
Okay, all right.
Well, then what could they possibly be talking about, Dan?
I changed my hat because of the listener. I hope that you appreciate this.
Oh, it needed to be washed.
Sunglasses that you can see his eyes through.
I know, right? This is the first time my eyes are burning. It is insane. I feel like fucking Count Dracula or some shit. It's just, this is not good for me. Thank God my doctor is here.
I told you to bring that machete. There's Dracula's here.
Yeah. Well, it's all right then.
All right, so the first comment, I won't go through the names. Why bother?
No.
Why on earth would you get Cage involved when everything he's involved with now either gets pushed to streaming early or bombs at the box office? The Surfer is a good example of when ego destroys a good premise.
Objection.
Is that a movie he's done?
Floor.
I think that when Nicolas Cage did the movie, and although I am making this argument, I cannot remember the full title of it. What is it? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
Yes.
Oh,
it's
yes.
very close to that, if not
that movie explains exactly what he's doing. He is trying to give a gift to humanity. And some of us seated around this table, I certainly hope, despite the jokes that are being tossed around and the self-deprecation, I think that around this table, I think that we appreciate what Nicolas Cage is doing. And I think the majority, certainly of the American population, and I would like to think of the world, we appreciate that he is delivering something to acting, to cinema, and no one else was doing. And while I will not sit here and tell you that he is the greatest actor who has ever lived, anything along those lines, what I will say is that he arrives at the scene with passion. And that fat suit and those prosthetics tell you his dedication to the role of playing Madden. So whoever it is that wrote that comment, whoever it is, not only do they know nothing of Nicolas Cage, they know nothing of the people who have dedicated their lives to Nicolas Cage. The people in this room, right here, I'll speak for all of you. The people in this room.
I'd rather
but
you
also,
didn't.
they don't care about the legacy of Madden himself, because who would you have play him? In other words, it's very easy for that person to sit there and write a comment about how Nicolas Cage isn't going to do this well, and it's an abomination, and so on and so forth.
John Goodman.
That's well and good. Yeah, John Goodman wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. You got to pick from a list of people who are willing to do this role. But the bottom line is that who would that person have picked? I'll pose that question there. If you want to put somebody else better out there, and I'm just going to say Daniel Day-Lewis because I love him, but Nicolas Cage, he's willing to do the role, and he's going to crush it. I think it's going to be a fantastic film.
All right.
Dan, you have the floor.
All right. If that's how you're going to go with every one of these comments, we might only have.
I said it once. I don't need to say it again. Yeah.
But you will.
recorded that, right? Can you play that loop in the top corner? You can mute it. I don't care. I just need them to know.
What I will say is Nicolas Cage is absolutely willing to send it
Yeah.
every time.
There you go. Exactly. Danner's saying what I was trying to say much more concisely than I said it.
He is in it to just throw it out there and really do it. Now, I don't know if it's because he's got bills to pay. Maybe Mongolia is really holding him his nuts over the fire. I don't know. But
It's true. Don't steal Tyrannosaurus Rex skulls.
But that's what he does. He's a thief. He steals cars, Declarations of Independence.
One movie that he did. Are you going to hold that over
That
his
was,
head?
well, it's 2 movies.
Let's say that. I think
And one of them had a sequel.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's sequels.
that lease on that mausoleum got to be really fucking
Yeah.
He stole that plane.
sucking him dry.
God, man.
All right.
Stole that face.
Go on, Dan. We're getting carried away over here.
Huge miss could have been Frank Caliendo. So freaking sad that that's
Wow.
not Frank.
That's a name I haven't heard in fucking forever.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That person was keeping that in the back pocket.
So Frank,
It was probably Frank Caliendo who
Yeah. Oh my
posted
God, is
that.
that Frank Caliendo?
It was not, but he did tag Frank Cali. Oh, actually, no, it's Stacy, so it's a she. She tagged Frank Caliendo, who did not reply to this. I
so
guess.
Frank, if I remember correctly, he was like an impressionist comedian. That,
Yeah.
that Madden being one of his.
He was on Mad TV, I think. I don't
also-
think he was on SNL, but
He also, I think, used to do some skits for the actual Fox pregame show.
I think he did.
for
No,
the-
I think he was involved to some degree with them. Yeah.
Yeah, because he used to do pretty much everybody, like some coaches.
Oh,
and all that
absolutely. Yeah,
stuff,
yeah. Well, in all fair play, I have legitimately not heard his name.
no, I completely forgotten about him until Stacy's post.
There you go.
Thank you, Stacey.
Yeah, you're doing God's work, Stacy. You're the Nick Cage of X.
Again, none of these were aimed at us. We need not thank them.
But that doesn't
We're
mean
doing
we
it,
shouldn't.
All right,
People
let's go.
like to be appreciated.
Let's go to the next one. This was fairly amusing to me. The big question is, who will play Pat Summerall, and will he be required to get shit-faced drunk before filming the character?
Yes and yes.
Pat Summerall was known for enjoying a drink or two.
Yeah.
Or 7.
Is that who Bob Uecker was emulating in Major League?
I don't
I think Bob Uecker was just playing Bob Uecker.
Oh, all right. So then is Bob Uecker still around? Because maybe he could do it.
No, Bob Uecker passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, my
But can we
God,
get him on the
damn it.
podcast?
AI could do a lot of things. So
Okay, so we've got this one. Ghost Rider and Batman, let's go!
Love that. Love
that's
that.
fair.
You're killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great if they just both turn into those characters?
That's what it is. That's what the movie's going to be.
Oh, I love it.
And you guys are all stupid for actually giving a shit about sports. Cage is going to crush this. He's going to piss fire. He's going to be Batman, and it's going to be great. There's football involved.
You don't know that for certain.
Go America. I don't know. What do you want, Dan? How do I make you happy?
This is making America great again.
Nick Cage as Madden was not on my bingo card. Yes, I agree.
Fair play.
That's just like a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fair.
All right, let's. Oh wow, somebody just turned this into a National Treasure poster. Oh my goodness
right.
gracious!
Oh, that's
Moses.
awesome.
Okay,
I miss my calling. You know I love graphic design.
All right, ain't no way in hell Nick Cage is going to sound like John Madden. You may as well use AI.
Oh, well, that person, first of all, that person is rude, and I hope that Skynet kills them. I feel like Nick Cage is going to just crush it in terms of his vocalization.
I don't think he can do
has a wide
voices.
range. What's that?
I don't think he could do voices. His
I don't think he
acting's
can do
superb, but
voices,
he's
But
always
John
the
Madden's
same
a
voice.
basic voice.
Is it? Let's hear your John Madden.
I'm not going to embarrass myself on the podcast.
No,
I'm
but it's
already
just a
dressed
regular-
like this.
it's
I
just a
might as
regular
well have
voice.
some dignity here.
I mean, John Madden's kind of like middle America, but like that is a fair point to a degree because I don't know. I'm trying to think through all the Nick Cage thing.
He
So-
always sounds
he
like
always-
with
so-
that wispy.
Yeah, so like I'll give that. I'll give that. And first of all, I hate how that was just weird for me.
It was
I wanted to like that, but
it was hauntingly accurate.
yeah.
Fun fact: I'm Nick Cage.
You're not tall enough.
I took Moses' face.
This is what I will say of that. Madden has a regular middle America, typical white man's voice, but his inflection, his timing within his speaking, that was unique to himself.
Yes,
right?
yes.
That's what made him unique. So it wasn't like, I'm not a musical person, Moses, so it wasn't like these tempos and things along these lines. But I think that Nick Cage, you got this, yeah? Backing me up? You got it. Yeah? Nick Cage, I think that he does have weird timings down, and I think that he can deliver on that.
For all that, you could have just got Christopher Walken because, just let Christopher Walken
only
do the
does
voices.
Christopher Walken. He only does Christopher
That's
Walken.
all Nick Cage does. Is Nick Cage?
I'm saying that he's got a bigger range than that. That's my point. I think that he can't change like the tone. I don't think that he can do accents.
The
or anything
iambic
like that.
pentameter.
There you go. I believe in him. I think that he can do this. What do you? You have more faith in Christian Bale? Is that what
I have a little more faith. If we're comparing the two, I have a little more faith.
What's the last voice that Christian Bale did?
It was this.
Yeah, there you go. That's my answer.
Where is the football?
Yeah. Tell me about Dragons in England.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that movie.
Come on, Rain of Fire.
Yeah.
Well, then I just got to retell the story of Star Wars.
Yeah. yeah.
By the way,
All right.
I don't know how often we've talked.
Yeah, I'll bet you did. I didn't.
I love that movie,
Yeah.
boys.
I always keep that in my front pocket.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave.
I don't know how often we have talked about the movie Rain of Fire, but it is stunning how that movie made Matthew McConaughey into a badass. The only badass in the movie, by the way. He was
That's right.
You go ahead and you enjoy your little soiree.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, way to make all these people seem like dicks.
Yeah, that's
The
what I
only
love
thing I
about
hate more than
dragons.
dragons, Americans.
I love that, like, when I watch that, he's simultaneously playing that role. He makes me want to be an American and makes me hate being an American, which is so strange because he's not any of these things really, not at his core.
It's never really explained how they got American tanks over to Britain.
They don't need to explain that.
And you got Gerard Butler in like a bitch best friend role.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
It's amazing that like the characters and the actors that played them were so absurd that despite like me being like a fucking autist for the details of a film, and I get hung up on like, where are you getting the gasoline from? The fucking flight fuel for these helicopters.
the helicopters.
You're just flying around, just
All willy-nilly, yeah.
Yeah, it's all this time has gone by and you just can still do that. And even though I'm hung up on that detail, I can get over it because the acting is so horrible in that. And the characters are just so bad and it's just so poorly written. And it's honestly one of my favorite films in the world.
Yeah, folks, I know this is a detour, but like, hang for a second. It is one of the most bananas ass fucking movies.
It's a great
of
movie.
all fucking time.
It's a great movie.
It's the premise of it. Now, I went to go see this movie in theaters with my father.
I saw it in theaters.
I
too.
too saw it in theaters.
I mean, listen, we're talking about it now, so I'll make a good use of it. That movie is, the concept of a dragon apocalypse to like, I don't remember. I can look it up, but I'm just going to take it.
on my bingo card.
Yeah, that first of all, to like 13, 14-year-old Dan, that seems kind of cool. And then you're hit with the reality that this is a movie, and this is really, really, really not
And
good.
it's a poorly done movie.
Yeah.
It's not like the idea is stupid from the get-go. it's a dragon apocalypse,
yeah.
you know. But you can have fun with that. And instead of having fun with it, they smoked a shit ton of fucking crack and then just like knocked the movie out in 2 weeks.
Oh, well, come on. You know full well they thought of that just doing a few lines, and then it's just
Well,
dragon apocalypse.
that's fair. The idea
Also-
came from doing a few lines, but the crack cocaine came in when they were actually making the movie.
Let's get McConaughey to throw on 20 pounds of muscle, shave his head, and we'll put full body tribal tattoos on him.
Yeah. I think that, and just to add on to that, because I do think that it bears mentioning, the fact that he needed to be shirtless for so much.
You're lucky he has pants on in any movie.
Yeah.
That guy's typically just walking around with bongos covering his dick.
And also, he's going to try to kill it's dragon. I almost said a Dracula.
Yeah.
And I think that's
That would've
your
been better.
That is my fault.
Would have been better.
But it's like it was even shown in the trailer. This whole big scene was like him, and he's like flying through the air, like it's
Badass.
Yeah,
Because he's an
it
American.
is super badass.
He's an American.
These goddamn fucking Brits, they don't know how to fight dragons. Yeah, we're making Britain great again. You got to get up in a helicopter, 100,000 feet, and you just fucking jump off, land an axe in their head. What do we fight with?
People. We give them
people in
parachutes
their
to
head.
fight. We throw people at dragons. And
There you
that's
go.
how we get them down
Exactly,
with nets,
Yep.
large nets.
That's what we do.
And that's I kept thinking like, how the hell did we get to Reign of Fire? Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Who was David Lee Roth?
Who was David Lee Roth?
Al Davis in this Madden movie.
Don't let him hear this. Now he'll be playing David Lee Roth in something in the future.
Oh my God. Well, that actually cut me to my core a little bit more.
Oh, we'll have to wait till next year.
If you Christian Bale trying to sing Just a Gigolo,
Oh my god.
I would love to.
I wish that I was a billionaire so I could make that happen just to hurt you, Dan.
you know what? To be fair, Christian Bale might be a better singer than David Lee Roth.
That
Though.
might be true.
I don't know.
It's a coin flip. Yeah, it's a duo.
I'm trying to think. Has he ever done like a lot of actors and actresses that do like musical pieces? He doesn't strike me as a person that's capable of singing.
I can't think of one. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking of is like American Psycho, but
Hugh Jackman, the magician movie.
Oh,
The Prestige. Yeah, there was no singing in
that's a
that.
good movie.
That was a pretty good
He
movie.
played two people in that movie.
Wow,
No, wasn't
that?
Was it
Sorry, if you
Christian
haven't
Bale?
seen it, it's 20 years later.
It was Christian Bale who played too. I thought it was Hugh Jackman.
No, it's Christian Bale.
Christian Bale
Yeah.
played two people.
That was the big reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like Hugh Jackman like got into like some weird, like weird esoteric
I
bullshit.
wanna, and the movie that I competed with, I know we're
David
getting off
Bowie
the
as
rails here.
Tesla.
Oh my god, that was David Bowie.
Yep.
Holy shit! How did I never know that?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Holy shit!
Yep.
I like David Bowie as a person. I don't give a shit about his music, but like I don't know. I just feel like he did something for humanity.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel that way.
Welcome to Random Movie Talk.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It always descends into this. doesn't
So
it?
I tried punching this up on his Wikipedia page. I'm just looking for the term musical for Christian Bale. And he starred in the 1992 Disney musical Newsies.
Oh, okay.
He
there
was
was
in Newsies.
there was
that's
singing.
right.
Wasn't Tobey Maguire in that too? Or
Now I have to look into Newsies.
yeah, wasn't he?
If you want real insight into how like our actual conversations work, this is largely how it
That's
goes.
mostly
It
It always
dissolves
reverts back to movies.
way back in the day, and you can't find it anywhere. But this podcast was originally a nonsense movie podcast.
Yeah. Probably. It's
yeah.
really. It's what it still is.
Yeah.
Also, who are you talking to? You know all that's getting cut.
It stars Christian Bale, Bill Pullman,
Wow.
Anne Margaret, and Robert Duvall.
Okay. Robert Duvall's a
I
real.
remember Robert Duvall in it. I don't.
Were you asking about Tobey Maguire?
Yeah,
Okay, let me see if I can punch that up.
I thought he was.
wasn't it?
There does not seem
I
to
guess
be
he
a
wasn't
Toby.
in there. Huh?
So that's the only thing I'm searching for is
All
Toby.
right.
Does not
Oh,
appear
all right.
as if he is
It's
in.
Kunta Kinte, maybe.
Damn it. I was just about to make a Kunta Kinte joke. I was opening my fucking lips as you did that. You got no right. You got no right.
You need smaller lips to get that out.
Oh, you
Then
motherfucker.
Toby.
Edit that out, then.
Listen, you're already giving me too many things to edit out of this episode.
All right, leave it all.
Hey,
in.
why did we even come here? He's just cutting this whole podcast.
It's just all in. Speaking of All In, I have a challenge for you. You have defended Nick Cage this entire podcast.
I stand by it.
So I want you to give us and the viewer your top 5 Nick Cage movies. No prep. Go.
Mandy,
That was going to be on my list.
The Rock.
Are we going in order?
No, Dan, you didn't say that. I had to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have an aneurysm if I got to do that.
I'm going to need a second. I have to recall the names. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay.
The Rock I'll accept.
You have to accept Mandy. Yeah, that's a great fucking movie.
Mandy's probably a better movie than The Rock.
In some ways. In some ways.
The Rock is a paramount in my mind of his era of being like in these like action type movies.
Yeah.
I'll throw one out that you'll probably like, Lord of War.
Lord of War is legitimately a good answer.
Yeah.
What's the one where it's like a shitty horror movie where the children turn against the parents type of thing?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember the name, but don't hold that against me.
yeah. Keep moving. I'm gonna think on that one.
All right, well, that's 4 that I just named. And Dan, since you tried to fuck me over on this question, Con Air.
Oh, that's so interesting. That you went
Yeah, isn't that so interesting, Dan? That I just named the greatest movie of all time, and it just so happens that the greatest actor
We
of all time.
all know the greatest movie of all time is National Treasure 2
Come on.
because he made
Say
him
Streetcar Named Desire, but
because it made him a national treasure 2.
Two. Oh,
you are
Hot damn.
I am-
garbage. Piece of garbage. Can we talk about Con Air now?
I
Is that
just
the
took
next
emotional
episode?
damage.
Good. You all need it after the shit I've been through.
This is where Dan beats us up.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, I'm wearing these because I have a black eye. I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't say that. I edited that out.
Oh my God, Nick Cage he's just doing so much now.
He's
he did
in
a version
every
of Bad Detective that was wild.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's like an Alaska yeah, it's just a remake. I don't know what it
No,
is.
it was still like in Louisiana, I think. I think it was still in New Orleans.
Oh, I
but,
thought
There was
the
another one
Alaska
that it's in, like, what was the name of that movie? Because I think we watched both of these.
It's got a super, like, it's on the nose name.
well, I'm talking about the legit. It was called Bad Detective. He did a remake. Of Bad
and I've
Detective.
seen that too.
Yeah.
Dan knows what I'm talking about.
Yes, I'm
Dead
scrolling
Cold,
through his
Cold Stone, something
Frozen
stupid.
Ground.
Frozen Ground.
Frozen Ground.
That's with John Cusack.
Oh.
Oh, it was a big one.
Also in Con Air. Yeah.
He did the Five Nights at Freddy's knockoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
So what I also saw here, because I like the movie Grindhouse.
Yeah.
He was like the Fu Manchu dude in one of the trailers.
Right. That's right.
8mm.
And that's when he was still a real actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
He was
a weird
just
movie.
getting out of real acting.
There's
Before he lost everything.
yeah. That movie is a movie that I'll never watch again because it's basically a snuff film.
Nope.
But
One and done for that one.
yeah,
for me.
exactly. One and done. I don't recommend watching it, but it is like he does act in it. He's like it's
for
actually
sure.
Nick Cage when he's trying. When he's trying. I thought I was going to say something else.
right. He was in-
Just when he's trying.
No, that was of the era before he kind of became the Nick Cage that we know today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where like, yeah, he was goofy and shit, but he was in mainstream movies.
I'll say this, and I'm as much as like we joke around, and obviously like I'm giving him perhaps a little bit more credit than his due in terms of some of the roles. What I will say, and it's a genuine compliment to Nicolas Cage. He fancied himself a good actor for a long period of time. I do not feel like he was ever a Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's ever a great actor. Right? I think he's better than some. But he was never as good as he felt that he was.
Because he's a pedigreed guy that had the chip on his shoulder. I mean,
That's
Francis
right,
Ford
yeah.
Coppola.
Yeah,
was uncle.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I changed his name to
But
Cage.
he had
After
he
Luke
had
Cage.
some sort of a breakdown at some
Yes.
point.
Oh, yeah.
His wife left him. Obviously, things in his life changed massively. And he didn't go and become a heroin addict. He didn't overdose yet. He didn't do any of these other things that we see so many celebrities fall into. Instead, he's one of these rare people in Hollywood who was just like, you know what? I really fucked up bad. And now everyone's laughing at me. and I would like to help them with that laughter.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just take on these roles that kind of, in other words, he rolled with it.
He straight up just
rolled
took it on
with
the chin.
Yeah, exactly. He took it on the chin. He rolled with it. He adapted. He embraced this new role that he had to play. I mean, if that isn't, although I don't think that he's a Daniel Day-Lewis, he's not a great actor, but I mean, he's an actor in life in that regard. He really he saw what was happening in reality, and he was like, I'm going to roll with this. I'm going to be this
He
character
took it
that
and doubled
everyone
down.
sees.
And I think he's
Yeah.
even more endeared now
Exactly.
than he ever was.
Yeah. If we could all do what Nick Cage does, we would have no problems in life. This man has dealt with more adversity than we ever have, right? And he's created it all for himself as well. So, I mean,
He had the country of Mongolia come after him for a stolen T-Rex
because
skull.
he stole a T-Rex skull. He created all of his own problems, but he never blamed anybody else. And instead, as you said, he took it on the chin and he's embraced it. And now he makes movies that are mediocre because they are mediocre. But what makes them better than mediocre is that he embraces it. He is actually acting in these things and yet at the same time playing himself. That's the duality of man, and that's what makes a great actor, Dan.
I am looking through his list, and there's movies I didn't even realize he was in.
Yeah.
He was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I had no idea.
I think he has taken on the modus operandi of just not saying no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when he goes into it, he goes into it hard.
He goes in very hard. And some of them are weird, and that's great.
Yeah.
Some of them, actually, you get really good movies out of.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a numbers game at that point.
I think that's exactly what it is.
What's the one where he's he doesn't speak at all and he's taking care of there's animatronics that come to
That's Wally's Wonderworld or something like that.
Wally's
That's the Five
Wonderworld.
Nights
Yeah.
at Freddy's knockoff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He doesn't speak anything. He's got a Mustang with a trunk full of energy drinks,
Yeah.
which doesn't really ever get explained.
I
And
think
then he
he's a
says nothing
salesman
in the
for it or
movie.
something.
And that's kind of my point. It's that the movie is I do enjoy that movie. First of all, it's fun visually.
It is.
Just visually,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's animatronics. It's not meant to be you're not supposed to think about it when you go to bed. You know,
Or while watching it.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just visually fun. And then there's that quirk, and it doesn't have many of them, but it's the energy drinks in the trunk. Yeah. And he just delivers on that, And I'm not saying that it's hard to do, but it's just you're watching this guy who's been he once was a guy who was a Coppola.
Yeah. He was he is an Academy Award winner.
He's sitting there, it's and you're just watching this man who did all of these things, who clearly has himself up on a pedestal in his own mind, and he's doing this bullshit fucking movie where he's fighting puppets, right? And he has no lines in it at all. I mean, how many actors would just be no lines in the movie? Not going to do it, right? But he takes that role. And then the whole character that he plays is that he drinks an energy drink every 15 minutes throughout the film.
He has an alarm set for it.
There's no explanation. And you as the viewer, you walk away from that movie at the end, you never get the energy drink thing. You don't understand why they were alive. There are parts that are a little bit explained. There's nothing to it.
Quick interjection.
Please.
There's a 5-minute scene of him, no dialogue at all, playing that pinball machine.
Yeah.
And he does it, and not for nothing. And I know that it's I can sit here and be I could play that scene. It's I probably couldn't because it seems easier than it is. But he sits there, and when he's playing that stupid pinball machine in that movie or drinking the energy drink, he's giving it his all. And imagine that you're doing a job that you think is a joke, and you're so much fucking better than it. But even still, you give this stupid 2-second scene everything that you've got. How do you not respect that? How do you not respect that? That's Nicolas fucking Cage Coppola.
We're leaving out The Wicker Man.
Oh, Wicker Man.
Not the bees.
And not for nothing, I've watched the original Wicker Man, which was an English film, and I've watched it twice because I was trying to not just hate on the British as I'm inclined to. I watched it twice. The first time I was I get where they got the good movie storyline from. Let me give this another try just to make sure that I'm not hating. Watch it again. One of the most boring movies that you'll ever see in your fucking life. Oh my God. But Nicolas Cage brings that to life. And does it have the same value and meaning? Obviously not, because the thing that we talk about is not the bees and the fact that he knocks out a woman who's in it while he's dressed like a bear costume or something. It's a totally ridiculous film, but he dug this bullshit fucking British movie that maybe had like some thread of quality in it that the British failed to utilize in any meaningful way that could ever move through our society and something we could appreciate. Nicolas Cage dug that up out of the ashes. And no, he did not make, a drama to last for the ages. That's not a thing. But what he did do is he resurrected that fucking rotten corpse and he made it into a film that we can all appreciate, even with a bit of humor, right? And we can all quote to this very day. Not the goddamn bees.
So that's pretty succinct. I don't know how to...
So I'm going to drill in a little deeper to your top 5 list. No Face Off? No Face Off there? He had The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off all back to back in his filmography, and there's no Face Off in your top 5?
I think the reason that I wouldn't include that, Dan, is that I think that it's sacrilegious to include a godly film in what was obviously a baited trap based purely upon cinema. In other words, I wouldn't put Passion of the Christ in there either. Because I think that
because he wasn't in it.
Well, because he wasn't in it, he could have been.
That's a good reason.
If you're telling me that he couldn't have played Christ, then you're obviously wrong.
I thought you were just going to go with John Travolta's in it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like I hate that movie just because John Travolta's in it.
That's a whole separate conversation.
Yeah.
Moses, you want to tee off on Ghost Rider?
I mean, just why? I think the thing I hate about it more is the love interest in that, at least the first one.
That was what's her
Eva Mendes.
Yeah.
I just can't stand her too.
Why?
I don't know. It's just her face. I don't like it.
She's very angular.
Is she? I think I picture her more round faced.
Really?
No, she's pretty angular.
Is she?
I think she's pretty angular.
Nah, whatever face is, I don't like it.
And then
Just get it out of there.
He says
Well,
that.
the second one, why is he pissing fire? Like, why is that even in the movie?
Because he sends it, baby.
Because I don't believe it's canon that Ghost Rider has ever pissed fire.
No, because he was never Nick Cage. This is Nick Cage as Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider as Nick Cage.
So I can't remember. I've seen the second one. I don't know what the story is.
I don't. He's like saving a kid or something like that.
Yeah, sure,
it's pretty much like the same plot as Deadpool 2.
Yeah, but it's like multiple. It's like a vehicle for him. So obviously, he can turn his motorcycle into like the flame bike. It's like, oh, I can turn an excavator into a flame excavator. I can turn a truck into a flame truck.
Yeah.
And then it's like they tried to like ham fist this whole like, it's not the spirit of vengeance. It's actually Azrael, the spirit of justice. Da 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 da. Now he's got blue flames.
Boom.
Yeah.
And there's like it takes place in Eastern Europe, so there's like the whole.
Why is he over there at all?
Why wouldn't he be?
That's all I got to
That's not
say
where
about
Ghost Rider
that.
goes.
It's bananas.
I did like Caretaker in that. What the hell is his name?
Well, I think Idris Elba was in that movie. I just remembered.
Oh, he might have been
Yeah.
in the second one, right?
The second one, yeah. Well, that's a thing. Anyway. Yeah. Just Raising Arizona. I
forgot about
that's
that.
the one that he won like some awards for.
I think so.
No, it was Leaving Las Vegas.
That makes more sense.
And not for nothing, like that is legitimately an excellent film.
Yeah, he was
It's
either
like
nominated or won an
depressing,
Academy Award for that.
Yeah,
and
I don't want to rewatch it because it's legitimately a good film and it's meant to be depressing. It's legitimately fucking good.
Yeah. And then he has a whole bunch of stuff before that too that is really bananas.
Yeah.
There's a vampire movie I can't remember. the name.
Last Kiss or First Kiss or something like that. Something like that, or maybe it's Vampire's Kiss.
It's something. It's Vampire's Kiss. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the? Oh god damn it!
Moonstruck.
No.
Keep going. There's another one. It's where he does a ridiculous accent.
Valley Girl.
No, keep going. It's a really ridiculous. I made you watch it, and you wanted to say that it wasn't real.
I don't remember.
Yeah, off the top of my head. I
Yeah,
got
a lot of
right
these movies we watched a long time ago because I'm starting to think, like, oh yes, I did see that movie where Nick Cage has the ridiculous accent.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I don't remember the The movie.
I'm gonna find it right now.
He did a movie like 10 plus years ago where he was like a medieval knight. That was one of the most bananas.
Oh, that's witch something witch
Yeah.
Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch. Yeah.
Yeah. That was absolutely bananas. He's got a lot of crazy shit, obviously.
Yeah.
The Weatherman.
Oh, The Weatherman.
Oh,
I
that
forgot
was
about
actually a
that
good
movie.
movie.
Like
Next.
a rock.
I'm gonna find this movie. In
Where he's like,
2007.
he's like, it's a movie. I'm a weatherman. Blah blah blah. Something happens. My father is.
Is it Justice?
No.
Michael Caine plays his father, and he gets into archery.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
His father dies, and he goes into the whole eulogy.
The name of the movie that I was thinking of is 1993 Deadfall.
I don't
remember
off the top
that.
of my head.
So I strongly recommend that not only everyone watch this film, but that we all discuss it at the next podcast, because Nicolas Cage, he does the most ridiculous fake accent throughout the entirety of the film that I've ever seen anyone do. in
And we
anything.
talked about like he's not known for his accent word, so I want to watch it.
So yeah, and I just want to clarify, I don't mean that he does an accent poorly. That's not what he's doing in this film. I mean that he does a fake accent. He's created an accent in this film that only he has, and it's so insane. And on top of that, it's also because it's made up. You don't really understand him a lot of the time, and he really sends it. He just really, really pushes that, like, maybe the audience knows what I'm saying.
Oh, no.
And
I did see this movie. I know what movie you're talking about.
He's in a strip club?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. And I want to do it right now, but no one
No,
can
you
do
can't.
it.
No one
He's
can
the
do it.
only one that can do
It's
it.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was Deadfall.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
Deadfall.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He's got a convertible. He's driving
yes,
around,
yes.
and it's like I can't tell you what happens.
Is that the one where he gets all crazy and
Yes. It's first of all, that's all of his films.
well,
But
no,
yes.
where like it's like extra crazy.
Yeah, he's got like a bowl cut, and he's clean shaven up here, and he's just like he's a lunatic in the film. I'm describing all of his movies minus the bowl cut. But yeah, there's like a scene where he's like in a strip club, and somebody's just like, "Hey, you're being crazy. You got to go."
Yeah, no,
and he
it's
just loses his shit.
It's not even 11. It's like 17.
Yeah, it's absolute insanity, and the voice that he created for this role is it's just unintelligible. You just can't. You have no idea what he's actually saying. You have to rewatch the movie a dozen times, which would kill you. So it's absolutely brutal, and yet one of the greatest films I've ever seen. It's just so unique.
Yeah, check that one out. I can't even describe the story to you.
We're gonna
It's
watch it
great.
next week.
Yeah.
Is that back-to-back Nick Cage episodes of the Loud and Drunk
We're
podcast?
actually changing the name of the podcast. Forgot to mention this to the Nick Cage podcast.
I love that.
Oh, boy.
Nick Cage all the time.
Oh, boy. Well, if you want to tune in for that episode, you should subscribe to the Loud and Drunk podcast. Well, it's still called that on YouTube and Rumble. If you want to listen to us talk about Nick Cage next week, I guess no one ran this by me before we started recording. I'm very angry at everybody.
Well, we needed it on camera.
We are also on Apple and Spotify, so if you're on the go and you want to keep up with the episode, you can follow us there as well. We're also on social media. We're on Twitter, X, whatever, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Great if you follow us there as well, because we can't really rely on those platforms to show off our content because, I don't know, I make fun of Elon, make fun of Zucker, make fun of everybody, so they don't like it. And then we also have loudandtrunk.com. That is our home base. You can check out some cool merch there. We've got t-shirts, glassware. You can catch up on the podcast there so you don't have to deal with all these damn links. And you can harangue Moses via our contact page. You are checking that, right, Moses?
Sure.
There you go. Affirmation. Confirmation.
The internet's still a thing?
Yes, that's how we're distributing this.
Oh, all right.
We don't have anybody delivering it for us.
Oh, then I'm paying someone something.
Well. Is it Pedro? You guys go complete that deal when we're done.
We've already been doing that.
All right. So for Justin, Pedro, Moses, I'm Dan, and until next time. God. John Madden. Why? Why? Just pour some of this out.
In
For
our
John Madden.
hearts.
Are you pledging allegiance to John Madden? That's for you.